Welcome to 3Con Commentaries. This is your host, MongoSlade. So, it came out that Mark Carrano was fired from WWE in relation to the Mickie James trash bag incident. So, I want to talk about this, not in really any real detail, because there's not much in the way of details. I just want to talk about the situation, and that's it. Probably just get my thoughts on it. So, Mickie James was sent her items, I guess at the Performance Center or the Thunderdome, was sent to her in a box in a black bag with her name tag on it. Basically, just somebody slapped the tag on there, put it in a box, and sent it to her. She took a picture of it, also took a video, and then posted it online, saying that she was sent her a care package via WWE, and she tweeted Vince McMahon about it. This led to a firestorm of tweets of people saying how Mickie James deserves better. How could you treat a legend like Mickie James like this? So this was all before Mark Carrano was actually fired. So let's talk about the trash bag incident first. I have to put the word trash bag in quotations. It's a black bag, okay? Trash is what you put in black bags, okay? Anything that you put in a bag can be trash. And any bag can be a trash bag. We have to be a little bit more, I know that people are emotional, but there are reasons to use black bags rather than any other type of bag. Sometimes it's a privacy issue. That might be why you don't use a clear bag, for instance. But clear bags can also be trash bags. You know, could you put it in some type of packing plastic? I think that probably would be best practice, to put it in some type of packing plastic or something like that. Similar to, like you might get something from Amazon or something. But that will require, people taking their time and, which is what they should do. Should treat people's belongings with care. But we don't know what was in that box either, or what was in that bag. We don't know if it's clothes. We don't know if it's coffee mugs. We don't know what the hell is in that bag. We don't know if it's shoes. We don't know. But sending people bags, once it happened, obviously some people came out of the woodwork. Gail Kim and Maria Kanellis, two people who, there's never any attention they don't see that they want. So I didn't really pay that much attention. But then when Jillian Hall said something, I was like, oh, okay. So this is kind of a recurring theme that they send people black bags filled with their stuff. Okay. Now, a lot of people may say, well, why don't they let them pack their own stuff? Well, to be quite honest, when you get released. Now, I don't agree. I would say this is also best practice. They should release people in person. They should call people in the office and say, hey, look, we don't need you anymore. Yada, yada. Whatever you was going to say to them over the phone, say to them in person. I don't believe in firing people over the phone. And then give them the opportunity to clean out their own locker. I think that would probably be best practice. But they usually don't let people back into the building when they've been released or fired for safety reasons. Because sometimes people go back into these buildings and they shoot up the place, or they attack people, or they cause problems, because people get really emotional about being fired. And so that's why they don't let people back in. But I think it would be best practice for them to say, hey, look, clean out your desk, clean out your locker or whatever. Because sometimes people are fired from Performance Center, they have their lockers. And then you just say, look, just clean it out, and you can handle this whole thing yourself rather than firing people over the phone. And I think that could have fixed a lot of the problem if you just fired people in person rather than over the phone. And, oh, we'll ship you your stuff. I don't like that, because then they have to worry about packing, right? And then, people that might not want other people touching their stuff. It's another big problem that we got here. But black bags are usually used for privacy. When people do put things in black bags, usually it's for privacy reasons. Now, a thick white bag could also do the same thing. But people would have still said it's a trash bag. So ultimately, it's not a trash bag, quote unquote, unless you're putting trash in it, Otherwise, it's just a bag. You could put anything in the bag, So I think it was kind of blown out of proportion. But whatever happened, Mark Carrano ended up taking the L. John Laurinaitis and Triple H pretty much tweeted the exact same thing. They pretty much copied and pasted and said the exact same thing, which proves that they were of one mind on this. Stephanie McMahon apologized to Mickie James and all the other talent that this had happened to. Apparently, this has been going on for quite a while and nobody knew about it. And Mark Carrano ended up getting fired. So Mark Carrano, the former head of talent relations, he's taken another L. likely Mark Carrano had nothing to do with this whole thing. It was probably some subordinate below him. He's just falling on his sword. This is a guy who just got demoted when Johnny Ace came back. People don't like him because he's one of those. He's just an office guy, and he doesn't have the best reputation in the world. And it's hard to tell whether, how much of this stuff is genuine versus how much of this stuff is bitter wrestlers doing what they do. But Darren Young says like, oh yeah, he harassed me about losing my job. And I'm like, the guy contacted you after you left? You should have reported that shit to the police, if we're being honest. But that sort of thing is important. So okay, they fired Mark Carrano, and I don't think that we'll see any major differences or any major changes as far as the on-screen product or the backstage issues. They'll probably just change practices as far as maybe, hopefully, firing people in person, give them the opportunity to pack their own stuff, and that's it. Hopefully that's something that can change. The whole concept of Mickie James stuff being put in a trash bag is like, again, I think they did it maybe for privacy, not trying to be disrespectful in any way, but they were trying to make sure that people couldn't see what was in the bag, just in case, because, maybe these people were packing multiple bags, because 10 people got fired. And maybe they was kind of like, okay, we don't want anybody seeing what's in this bag. So they put it in a bag you couldn't see through, So that's fine to me. I wouldn't have thought nothing about it. But, it's hard to tell what people get, upset about these days. But Mark Carrano got fired for it. And, of course, there are some people who are saying, oh, it's not enough. It's, what was it? Maria, it starts at the top. I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? You think Vince is packing these bags? He doesn't know about this shit. He doesn't pay attention to this stuff. I doubt Mark Carrano paid that much attention to it. It's been going on for a long time and nobody said anything, right? It's probably because most people didn't have a problem with it, or if they did, they just didn't see it as being a big deal. But ultimately, it's one of those things where it's good PR to fire somebody. So Mark Carrano got the axe, and he was already demoted anyway. So they just kind of was like, well, whatever, get rid of him. He also has some heat from Mike Chioda. He's one of the guys who, Mike Chioda says, hey, he got me fired too. So there's a lot of people coming out now saying, oh yeah, I didn't like this guy anyway, which is, dogpiling. But that's kind of how the internet works. When something happens, people attract to it like ants to sugar. And then, WWE throws them some red meat. And then all of a sudden you see more people coming out, than ever before, making this a bigger deal than it really needs to be. So ultimately, that's it. But we're not going to miss anything with Mark Carrano. I mean, Mickie James is actually more important than Mark Carrano, if we're being honest. Because Mark Carrano, I mean, look, he's been around forever, but he's not somebody that, performs, so I don't care. He's just a pencil pusher in an office, an empty suit. They'll replace him with somebody else, and business goes on. All right. So let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Like this video, share this video, subscribe to the channel. Thank you guys for your time. Also, go to subscribe to the channel via actually subscribing on YouTube, or subscribe via Subscribestar, and by giving $5 a month, or you can give money via Cash App. You can also follow me on Twitter. Thank you guys for your time, and I'll talk to you guys later.